What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Prince KJ video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make beats in Bandlab. So as you can see, this beat is actually quite simple. It only has 7 layers. This is a beat I made in Bandlab almost 2 years ago, and it goes to the song called Whole Fight. So let's take a listen. So as you guys can see, that beat is actually super simple, and I made it using this drum kit that I made, and you guys can go ahead and cop that drum kit down in the description below. It's called the Harder Drum Kit. The link for that is in the top of the description and in the comment section. But I'm gonna go ahead and walk you through how I made this beat. So for this beat, I actually started with the kicks, this kick right here, and that sounds like this. That was pretty simple. And then the next thing I did was add the snares. Basically, all I did was just add a little high snare right there just to make it have some extra bounce in between these two. I'm pretty sure I did the 808s next. It's easier for me to like come up with melodies for like the loop after I put the bass down. Or this is what it sounds like with just the bass. Literally that loops the entire song. And then we got the hi-hats over here, and all I did was just go in and click and just drag it into the right spot. Yeah, so we got this. Now, something I do specifically to create more bounce is for every 2 of these, I reduce the velocity down to 78. So these ones, 100% velocity right here. These ones, 78 velocity. So now it's like adds some extra bounce to it. That's a technique I've been using on every beat once I first discovered it. You can hear the bounce on there. And then once you add those ingredients together, this is the basic beat. And of course, all of those are just the sounds that I dragged in from the Harder Drum Kit, which again, you can go cop in the description down below. After that is when I started adding Bandlab specific sounds. This violin is so goated for it to be so free in Bandlab, right? It was so simple for it to make such a huge impact on the beat. All I did was do like a nice hard, I don't want to say it, a D note. I didn't want to say it like that. A nice D. There's no way I could get around that, bro. Okay, so a positive D. Oh my gosh. That's the note it is. It's a D. There's no other way for me to say it. It's a positive, whatever, with a octave up and then harmony that I don't know what the harmony is, but it sounds good together. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That's literally it. And then I varied it up as we got near the second part right here, so it's a little bit higher. See? Just filling in the spaces in between. Not even echo on there. I don't even think there's echo. There's a little bit of echo on here and compression. And something else, I'm pretty sure that's not even, so that's not even in harmony right there. So that just goes to show it's not even that big of a deal whether or not it's a harmony, because that's still in the final product of the song. Let me see this. This right here? Yeah, C. And what I'm pretty sure is a D at the same time does not sound good together, but because they're an octave almost apart, it doesn't sound that bad. B, a C, B, and a D all at the same time. That sounds like a setup for a joke. Sounds like this. They don't sound like it blends together, but I like that. I like that like contrast right there. It's just like, ooh, it sounds kind of broken. And this is actually most of the beat already done. And then I'm going to add this sound effect down here. So these are what made the beat feel more professional. Just these random inserts right here. Okay. Yeah, this is actually part of a hats, claps, and perks drum kit, which I'm also going to put down below. Since this had 2 drum kits, y'all got 2 drum kits y'all can go ahead and check out down below, all right? But these sound effects are like basic sound effects that just elevate your beat once you add them in there. It just adds life. The human voice is the best instrument, so just take a listen. You hear that in the background? That that breath. Breath right there. This is so hard, right? Add some variation in there. And then the top of every drop has this. You know, that floops out. Man, every single drop has it. So then that just creates that extra layer of breathing in the background. And none of these instruments are super heavy on echo. So this kind of fills in the space in between the hi-hats and the snares. And because it's so like fast paced, it go hard. All right, and the next part right here is this piano. Nah, let me quit acting like that's a simple melody. So I listened to this and said it needs some variation between the first part of the verse and the second part of the verse. So this piano right here, I imagined I was playing the piano and then put the notes in the spot that I imagined, if that makes sense. So this is what it sounds like in full context. And it just loops again. But this looks more complicated than it is. Really, the bulk of the melody is just this part right here. Like dun, 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 dun. See? Dun, 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 dun. That's it. And that I'm pretty sure I looped that part. Dun, 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 dun. Right? So all I did was just copy that, loop it twice, and then I took this high note, this note right here, and then I just complemented it with the low notes on the parts where it matters right here. Complicated piano melodies like this, all you're doing is just taking one main melody and then complementing it with counter melodies. And so this is actually telling its own story. It's like dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That's it. The piano is telling that these low notes down here are kind of its own counter melody to the high notes. And then these right here, this is actually to create like the feeling of being played on the piano. So this right here, like dun, 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 ring. Like, I like that. Yeah, that's nostalgic for me. But just having that can kind of create that realism rather than just it's which kind of adds extra bounce. So that's why I added these 2 notes right there. I just went through and added more melodies, accents where I saw fit. That's really it. I just added it in the notes that felt best to try to create that roll on the drop. Yeah, that's really it. And then all I did was for the high parts, let me break down this melody a bit better right here. So again, this part disconnected from this part down here. I took this whole melody, duplicated it, and then for the second half of it, I just put these down here to create more like intensity. So this is just the same note. See that? Dun, 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 dun. That's all I did was just add those. And then these right here. That hold right there. That dun, 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 just increases like the intensity once it comes back around. So that's all I did for that piano melody. It sounds more complicated, or it looks more complicated than it is. It might not even sound that complicated, but in context, it adds so much to the beat to just make it hit so much harder. I want to take a second to say, bro, this beat literally took me 20 minutes to make on my phone. This phone right here, last year, before I had all this set up with the laptop and all that. The craziest part is the earliest saved version of this has vocals already on it. So I made the beat, and as soon as I heard the beat, I said, ooh, let me go ahead and put the vocals on it.
Yeah, I'm okay. I got God and I'm alright. I keep going through the whole race, whole fight. Yeah, I know it's difficult even sometimes, but we go in whole race, whole fight.
Then I took everything out of Bandlab, put it in the FL Studio, and now it sounds like this.
Even sometimes, but we go in whole race, whole fight, whole race, whole fight. No timing in. Even if we gotta switch up the environment, keep on taking all your minerals and vitamins, and try again, we're never gonna stop. My God is so good, he got it on lock.
Bro, y'all see, I will always be like the biggest advocate of this. The simplest beats with catchy melodies make the hardest songs, bro. Finally, as you can see, this is February 15th, and now it's out on all streaming platforms. This song is called Whole Fight. Again, if you want those drum kits, go check them out down below. It's your boy Prince KJ. Y'all be easy.